everybody, my name is Savannah, and today we're taking a look at the Deinocheirus, one of the new feathered dinosaurs being added with the Feathered Species Pack to Jurassic World Evolution 2. We're going to take a look at its animations, its stats, its interactions with other dinosaurs, the way it eats, everything about it. And let's kick it off. I have a few in here to release and take a look at the exit animation. I always love when they start at the feet and they kind of pan up. They don't actually give away the dinosaur right off the bat, and they kind of keep it a little secret. Very cool. I'm not quite sure what I think about this one, to be honest. The only Deinocheirus that I have really ever seen before, and the first time it was introduced to me, is that this is an animal that's introduced in Prehistoric Kingdom. And so that model is really the only one I'm familiar with, and it looks a little different. However, I do love the fact that it's entirely covered in feathers. We have this really fat, fluffy tail that kind of bounces. It almost looks heavy as it walks because the feathers kind of droop down. It reminds me of like emu or ostrich feathers, the way it kind of droops down like that. The pattern is cool. I like this big dark stripe with the contrast between the white feathers on the body and the lighter feathers all over the place. I don't know what I think about the face. And again, knowing nothing about what Deinocheirus actually would have looked like comparative, with the fossil records that we have, but I like it. It's an interesting looking dinosaur, right? It's the duck dinosaur is what everybody refers to it as. It's got this big, broad mouth and really long snout. Really cool. Pronounced little eyebrow there. Some detail on the face as well. Yeah, I think I like it. And I liked that exit animation as well. It looked a little inquisitive as it came out, not like a big scary dinosaur, but maybe a little interesting or interested dinosaur coming out there exploring its world. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to release some just randomized color patterns and see what those look like. So we got the same animation there, but something I actually didn't notice is this guy. Did you see this guy scratch his shoulder as he came out? He kind of looks over at this one, scratches his right shoulder with his left arm. That was pretty cool. There is also an alternate exit, so I'll go ahead and throw that one in now so you guys can see. Colors that we got. So I'm guessing that the Deinocheirus is going to be pretty muted no matter what color you have, but it looks like this one, let's bring up the stats here. What color are you? So you are blank, but Yukon River is the color. We've got some blue on the face. We have this one over here. It's kind of a darker version of the default skin. Very cool. This one has a little bit more color to it, very still monotoned in the face, but slight green on the feathers as you go over the back here, and a little bit of green hinted underneath that big stripe there. And colors are kind of inverted, where this stripe is very, very light and then everything else is dark, whereas on the default pattern, stripe was very, very dark and everything else was kind of light. Very cool. Now, we could only release 4 at the same time, so we might potentially have other colors. I'm going to guess this one is also Yukon River. Yeah, with a pattern on it there. So we can see the Yukon River has the dark kind of blue. I am a fan of this gradient because it is very subtle. And there might be something to be said for more subtle colorations in dinosaurs rather than bright and flashy things, you know? So I like it. I like it. Now, I'm going to watch these guys for a little bit. I actually haven't seen them at all do any sort of animation, but it looks like we might get one here. Are you guys going to do something? Nope, you're just going to sit down next to your buddy there. Well, thank you. I'm going to watch them a little bit and see what I can see what these guys get up to. So I actually just got rid of all my original Deinocheirus and let out 4 new ones, and I got some better colors this time. So this one here, if we go, you can see mangrove forest and paleophylax, if that's how you say it. Really bright red color, deep red stripe. But the detailing of the orange is really, really cool. And then we have this little bit of like lilac-y color on top of its back as well as underneath this stripe that kind of gets some lilac-y color in the face as well. So that one's really cool. And then this one here being lighter colored but with some green touches. This one is Yukon River and lithobates there. This one I also thought was really cool with the green and the orange. This one matches the background very, very well. But this one is Salar del Huasco and lithobates. Oh my goodness. Don't judge me on my pronunciations, but really cool looking. So we got some better colors. I would say my first batch of Deinocheirus were very, very plain. We will, of course, also still take a look at all of the colors in the species viewer at the end of the video. And I always forget to take a look at their stats in the hatchery. So Deinocheirus here, a peel of 864. So that is higher than the Yutyrannus at 645. So pretty high appeal. Let's actually see other herbivores and other medium-sized herbivores. 60, obviously much higher than some of these just common guys. Para's 59. So a really high appeal when it comes to medium-sized herbivores. Obviously Deinocheirus omnivore, eating fish and also plants, but you get my point. Really, really high appeal, 864. If we go to the next tab, you can see their requirements: water, fish, ground leaf. Their requirements there. They do like sauropods as well as hadrosaurids, so you can share exhibits with them. Dr. Wu hybrids, large carnivores, medium carnivores, and nobody likes the Therizinosaurus. Moving on here, you can see their stats out of the hatchery, their base attributes there, and yeah, that's going to be Deinocheirus's stats in the hatchery. We just had a fight break out between these guys. I'm a little surprised. They started fighting almost right away. I was hoping for something sweet, like a sweet animation, but it looks like we're going straight for violence. So let's just take a look and see. Jumping and swiping at each other. The general going round in circles fighting animation that we get with a lot of the dinosaurs. And yeah, doesn't look like anything too special. These guys are very loud with their roar and their cry, but using those big, long, sharp claws to kind of claw at each other when they fight. Looks like we got a bit of a social animation. Let's see what they do. How cute is that? How is that for a social animation? We have another one happening right here. I was thinking that this one was just laying down next to his buddy, but they actually lay down, walk up to each other, or I guess one walks in front of the other one, and then he kind of has his head stuck underneath the tail of his friend. How cute. I will definitely try to get that one in better lighting and from start to finish, so I'll put that in right now. So although not captured in the best lighting, what a unique little animation and what a creative way to use the Deinocheirus's tail, that big, droopy, feathery tail, in a social animation like that, and just making them seem, again, more lifelike. It's such an interesting little thing. Frontier has done such a good job at kind of upping their game when it comes to social dynamics and social animations between the dinosaurs. I absolutely love it, him peeking out from underneath his buddy's tail. It's great. Now, of course, we have a plant-eating animation, but we also do have to check out a fish-eating animation, because these guys are the second omnivore in the game. Oh, it looks like they have a dual eating animation over the plants as well. Very cool. But yeah, these guys will eat plants, and also the fish feeder will feed them. So we'll have to check that out. Nothing too special about their plant eating animation, just using that big, broad mouth to rip off little leaves, throw them back into their mouth. Oh, we get a little shoulder scratch. Yeah, nice, simple little animation here, eating the plants off the ground. And of course, they nap as well. And they drink. Love that it takes a pause to look around and then the little head shake at the end. It's the simple animations, but they're necessary, right? To make these guys feel like they are actually alive. Very nice. All right, I have now put down the fish feeder. Let's see how long it takes for somebody to come over here. I'm really hoping, I was very excited that they had kind of a group interaction on their plant eating animation. So I'm really hoping that they interact with one another on the fish as well. Are you coming over here, buddy? Are you going to be our first little test subject, our first little guinea pig? You know you're hungry. You know you want those fishies. Here we go. Now we got our first taker. Of course, you're going to come and turn and face your back towards me. Very cool. I love the effort. First snatching a fish out of the water with just his mouth, and then really leaning into it and grabbing the edge of the fish feeder with his hands. It looks like we got somebody else coming in, I think, hopefully. You want some fishies? Really making use of those hands is awesome. I love to see it. I love to see them making use of the hands. Now, can we get a duel? Are we gonna fight over a fishy? Doesn't look like they're interacting with each other at all, but just taking turns eating fish out of the feeder. Let me go on this side because the lighting's a little bit better. I'll hang out here and I'll see what I can see and see if anybody interacts with one another while they're eating. Here we go. So this is the first time I've actually seen them eat next to each other. They've always been across. So let's see if this triggers their shared animation. It does. So looks like he just yelled at him. Don't actually do anything with each other, but they kind of look at each other and acknowledge that they're there. So very cool nonetheless. Excuse you. Very cool nonetheless. So, ignoring the fact that this one is very beat up from a previous fight, it looks like we have a little bit of an ambient behavior as they lay down and just give their little neck a scratch and wiggle their head back and forth, as well as a little ambient behavior of them kind of scratching the ground and exploring. It's those kind of little things, like I keep saying, just make the dinosaurs feel alive, make them feel a little bit more than just things that walk around in an enclosure, right? Like, there's absolutely no need for them to scratch the ground like that. It adds nothing to the game except for just making these guys feel a little bit more lifelike. So now it's time for the carnivores. Let's go ahead and release a pack of Pyroraptors, and maybe we'll get some group hunting animations. I'm not quite sure how they will interact with the Deinocheirus, but we will see. So that actually happened fairly quickly. These guys went right after them, and just like many of the other animals, same kind of pack hunting animations. They have four different latch-on points, 1 on the head, 3 on the body. Bring him down on his side, gets back up. Oh, that one on the face held on for quite a while. Until finally the Deinocheirus does not win. So, pack hunting. Yes, it can happen. Now, specifically because they don't like Dr. Wu hybrids, I've let out an Indominus Rex, and it looks like we've got a fight straight away. I'm just wondering if there's any interesting animation with this one, and that's a no. That is dead straight away. No chance. Poor Deinocheirus. Now, I did delete the fences and let these guys out on the guests. However, despite being a threat to humans, this one is deciding to take a nap instead. And I've been watching them for quite a while now with no luck on any interesting guest kill animations. So I don't think they have any. I was just curious with them being omnivorous, eating both fish and plants, if they had anything with those big massive claws on their hands, but no luck. And last but not least, of course, let's take a look at the Deinocheirus in the species viewer. I've got a bit of screen tearing going on. Please ignore that. I'm not quite sure why that happens in the species viewer specifically. But here we have the just frontier default skin of the Deinocheirus. As we saw, big dark stripes, 2 of them going across the body, with a relatively plain tan pattern, but we do have a lot of bright colors that I didn't get to see at first when I first released them, but we have some like Champlain Valley is really bright, Sonoran Desert is really bright, this one and this one as well, very colorful. We've got a lot of warm colors for these guys. This one's really cool, this Amazon rainforest. I really like, particularly because of the gradient from the really, really bright on the back down to the dark underneath the body on the leg, all the colors around there. I like that one a lot. And then of course we have mangrove forest, which is kind of similar but a little more orange comparative to Amazon rainforest, which is a little bit more maroon. And Amazon rainforest also has like the green on the face, which is really pretty. And then we have, last but not least, this one. And then as far as patterns go, we only have a few, with the main differences being coloration on the lower jaw and then details around the stripe on the body. So yeah, overall, I think I'm a fan of these colors. I like the more natural tones, but it's nice to have some brighter variation in there. So I like the Deinocheirus. I like the colorations. And then of course we have ambient behavior here, just standing and shaking, scratching its little chest there. We have walking Deinocheirus, we have running Deinocheirus, we have sitting Deinocheirus, and then we have shaking its head, scratching on the ground Deinocheirus, which I think we already saw this one. But there you go. There is Deinocheirus in the species viewer. And that's it. That's all I have about the Deinocheirus. Apologies if I missed anything. I did my very best to watch these guys for as long as possible to get all the animations for you. But if there's anything I missed, please do let me know down in the comment section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like on the video and hit subscribe if you're interested in any future Jurassic World Evolution 2 content. You can also find links to my other social media channels down there, including our Discord and my Etsy shop if you're interested in supporting the channel a little bit more. But until next time, I am covering all the dinosaurs, so keep a lookout for the other species coming in the feathered dinosaur pack. And until next time, I will talk at you in the next one. Bye!